Hey, you guys, it's Double Moms again, and in today's episode, we're going to take a look at FRES 2 Group Limited, ticker symbol FRES, and SNTG Holdings Inc., ticker symbol SNTG, two Chinese microfloat sympathy stock plays. But before we begin, if you haven't already subscribed, folks, hit that subscribe button and set those notifications on so you don't miss any episodes. And like and share. Also, let me begin by saying we are not financial or stock advisors, nor are we giving stock or financial advice. This episode is just for entertainment purposes only. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Hey! Always do your own due diligence. Now, if you'd like access to our private Discord so you can get our pre-market picks early, the link is in that description, and we pick a lot of bangers a lot of times. We called out BGLC pre-market today, February the 13th, 2024, before it ran up 719%. We also called out OMH pre-market today, February 13th, before it ran up 486%. We also called out BREA this afternoon, February 13th, before it shot up parabolically to 441%. We also called out ARBB yesterday, February the 12th, and pre-market today, February the 13th, and it ran up 383% today. We also called out FBLG this afternoon, February 13th, before it ran up 351%. We also called out DBGI back on February the 7th at pre-market today before it ran up 333%. We also called out VCIG pre-market today on February 13th before it ran up 240%. And we called out BDRX pre-market today, February 13th, before it ran up 213%. We also called out to our private Discord HOLO today, February 13th, and it ran up 140%. SNTG was called this afternoon, February 13th, before its run up 118%. And we also called out AEHL today, February 13th, and it ran up 114%. We also called out BMR today, February 13th, before it ran up 110%. And we called out FAMI on February the 12th and pre-market today, February 13th, 2024, before it ran up 105%. That's 13 100% plus stock runners we've called out today, folks. And by the way, we've also premiered a video yesterday, February 12th, on both FAMI, ARBB, and also CHSN before their parabolic runs the next day. We're just made different, guys. We're just made different. This is what we do. And the early bird gets the cash. By the way, we've also included that link to our membership website program, which also includes all of our incredible stock picks and over 380 episodes of material on how we find and trade stocks, how we read candlestick patterns, how we read those key levels, how we use those critical indicators, and much, much more. Of course, there are no guarantees that you'll succeed in trading stocks if you join our membership site or not, but we share with you how we trade and what's been working for us. So let's get right into it. First one, FRES 2 Group L Limited, FRES 2 Group Limited, ticker symbol FRES, is headquartered in New York City. It is a publicly traded NASDAQ biotechnology company with an $8.61 million market cap and 75 employees. It is incorporated in the British Virgin Islands and researches, develops, markets, and sells multi-cancer screening and detection tests using cancer differentiation analysis technology to corporations and life insurance companies in the People's Republic of China. It also sells physical checkup packages as well as technology services consisting of market research, designing, coding, developing, testing, etc. In addition, the company sells genetic testing kits as well and skincare products. And it owns core technology platforms as well as engages in technology development and product distribution. The company also operates e-commerce platforms that connects food suppliers and supermarket operators and restaurant owners. Now, let's take a look at FRES's most recent news. On January the 31st, 2024, the company announced it received a deficiency notice from NASDAQ advising that FRES2 Group Limited had failed to comply with the $1 minimum bid price required for continued listing on NASDAQ. The company has been provided with an initial compliance period of 180 days. They have until July 24th, 2024 to regain compliance status with the minimum bid price requirement. It's got to be achieved 10 consecutive business days prior to that deadline. Now, the company will need to provide written notice to NASDAQ of its intention to cure the deficiency during the second compliance period by effecting a reverse stock split if necessary. So the company has until July to bring itself into compliance with NASDAQ listing requirements, and a reverse stock split may be in its discretion to effect. And also, it's worth mentioning here that the float on this stock is just 2.48 million shares. This is a micro float stock. Now, the price action on FRES's stock was pushed upward today 40% in after hours. The fact that the stock is a Chinese microfloat stock, along with the recent news of the NASDAQ bidding requirement deficiency, could potentially keep the price moving upward tomorrow if more volume or news catalyst comes in. SNTG Holdings Inc., SNTG, is also a Chinese stock, headquartered in Shanghai, China. It is a publicly traded NASDAQ financial services company with a $6.37 million market cap and 21 employees. This company provides financial services mostly in loan repayment, collection management, loan recommendation, and prepaid payment network services in China. It also provides advisory and information technology support services as well. Here's some recent news on SNTG. A statement of acquisition of beneficial ownership dated today, February 13, 2024, was filed with the SEC, where a British Virgin Islands entity called Unit Giant Limited reported the holding of 1,650,000 Class A shares of SNTG Holdings, Inc. Also, the company's stock float is just 1.06 million, another microfloat stock. Now, the price action on SNTG stock rose 118% in after hours today. The news of its recent filing with the SEC on the sale of the shares to another entity and the fact that the stock is a Chinese microfloat stock can keep the price moving upward tomorrow with more volume or news catalyst. As we said earlier, folks, now if you want access to our private Discord so you can get our pre-market picks early, the link is in that description. We pick a lot of bangers. A lot of times we are just made different, and the early bird gets the cash. By the way, guys, we also included a link to that membership website program, which also includes all of our incredible stock picks and over 380 episodes of material on how we determine our stocks what we trade, and how we determine our entry and our exit points on trades, how we read those candlestick patterns, how we read key levels, how we use those critical indicators, and much, much more. Of course, there are no guarantees that you'll succeed at trading stocks if you join our membership site or not, but we share with you how we trade and what works for us. In conclusion, FRES and SNTG are publicly traded NASDAQ companies. These are two Chinese companies, both with microfloat stocks, which have each reported other significant news. There are several Chinese stocks similar to these that have rallied in the past week. Two examples were HOLO, another Chinese microfloat stock, which we call pre-market on February the 7th, before its huge run-up 3,277%, and today, February 13th, before it ran up 140%. BETS was yet another Chinese microfloat stock company that we called out on February the 7th and pre-market February the 8th, which ran up 141%. Now, all of these factors can contribute to move the price action upward for the stocks, and a continuation in price increase for these stocks is possible. We will be keeping an eye on them. Now, with the right increase in volume, we believe these factors could be conducive for momentum parabolic day trading on each of these stocks. Now, will FRES and SNTG run parabolic? They will need volume. But who knows for sure? Of course, we would need to see continued volume before we actually day trade these stocks. Now, this is not advice. We are not pros, folks. It's just my opinion. And I will have FRES and SNTG on my watch list. This is Double Moms, and I'll see all of you again on the flip side.